In this video, I turned this abandoned 100-year-old barn into a beautiful, luxury built-in bookcase in my office. Guys, I don't know if it's the really old barnwood or the really old clock up here that's haunted, but towards the end of this video, when I tie everything together, something really creepy happens. And I'll tell you the full story at the very end. All right, here we are. This used to be a beautiful barn, and the wind came and knocked the thing over. Today, I'm gonna be tearing down this 100-year-old barn. However, the boards are still good. In fact, I already took apart this whole south side last year, and I kind of lined the wall of my gym with it. We stripped this whole thing off, my dad and I. The owner said once he got a big snowstorm, he was just gonna light a match and burn this whole thing down. So I'd rather use the boards and put them to good use. These 2x4x6s are gonna be the uprights for my bookshelf. The horizontal boards that are gonna hold the books are gonna be these boards that are sitting on top. All right. Dang, I should have brought my knee pads. Oh, dang. All right. That would look so nice on the backdrop of part of the bookshelf. Look how good that wood is. It's dang near brand new. I gotta be careful because I was here yesterday and stepped on a nail and it went all the way through my shoe and barely touched my skin. Oh wow, look at that. There is an old windmill frame in here. Well, that's what is holding it up. Let's see how sturdy it is. Ooh. But they're still solid. Got a big chunk of it. We didn't finish the whole thing, but these are really solid too. Good boards. Tried to pick the straightest ones. It's not bad for 100 years old. At first, I wanted to do the entire bookcase with the barnwood, but a lot of it was so heavily weathered, I decided to do a blend of new wood and old wood to create something really unique. We're gonna be working on the cabinets today. I'm building a cabinet first, and then I'm gonna stack a bookshelf on top of that, and that's going right on the north side, built into the room. Gosh dang it, I'm always running out of batteries. I like it. Woo! Gee. You know what's crazy? I worked at a local cabinet shop in like 2009 2007, all I did all day long was sand. That's it. Everyone else was building these carcasses, had no clue what they were doing. All I did was sit there and sand and listen to hairband music. Ugh. That was a long freaking summer. They may want to hire me back, have me build them some carcasses. Okay, we got cabinet number 1 finished. So now I just have to drill the holes in cabinet 2. And then we can kind of start to pull it all together in the office. I'll figure out a way to make a tabletop. So I'm just making this up as I go. Gosh dang it, wind. God, tore up my corner. Mr. Wim got bit by a rattlesnake a couple weeks ago. You can see both fang holes. He survived. Got a lot of rattlesnakes around here, don't we? I just remembered the video I watched to make these. He put wood glue on it. I didn't do any wood glue. Oh well. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? Ah, such a noob. Oh, that's annoying. I hate wasting wood. Shoot! Dadgummit. Get it. Oh yeah, look at that. Looks nice. I'm gonna wax these. They're not gonna get a ton of finger traffic, so ooh, that feels good. I love sanded wood. Never used this before, so kind of excited to try something new. Dang, that smells good too. Orange oil. Nice. And everyone says it gives it a real buttery, soft feel, so that's kind of what I'm seeing, how buttery it is. Nice and soft. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's buttery soft right there, tell you what. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got all the door frames done. Turned out decent. My router bits that I bought, they just weren't made very well. However, they'll work. It's not bad for my first cabinet doors. Oh yeah. Oh no. Dang it. Shoot. Well, we'll make it work. Oh yeah, baby, look at that. It fits. That is beautiful. Man, there's something striking about that. That looks just so nice. Whoa! Guess I'm done for the night. Shoot. Until tomorrow. Hi, what are you doing? Hello. Look at that. That looks professional. Not very good with my left hand, that's for sure. All right. Whoa, jeez. Let's see how the door's shut. Oh, come on, look at that. Perfect. Dang. Not bad for never making a cabinet my entire life. That is not too shabby. Sandwich them. Look at that. These boards are all warped and twisted, so it's going to be real difficult to get my shelves to really line up. So created a jig. Well, the cold mornings have begun. I got all my vertical uprights routed, and then I can make all of my horizontal pieces that hold all my books. Whoa. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Gotta be very careful so I don't scratch my tabletop. Jeez. Okay. Oh my God. We'll do this one next. Oh, come on, baby. This is gonna look so cool. Yes. So I've got one more piece I'm adding to this, and I peeled off some of that tin that you guys saw whenever I was disassembling that barn, and I'm gonna cut a piece and put it right here as the middle focal point. And look at that. That looks nice. Three, two, one. Oh, look at that. Okay, now for the creepy story. The story you all have been waiting for. Okay, first I need to lay out some details about the story. And I have to get really granular so you guys fully understand what happened. And then maybe you guys can shine some light onto the situation. So, this revolves around the mantle clock. Halfway through building the bookshelf, I took a trip out to Kentucky to see some family. And while I was there, my aunt brought this clock out and said, "We've been trying to get this to you, and since you're here, it's a perfect time to give it to you." So I accepted it, and we started talking about the clock, and she had took it home from Colorado to Kentucky when my grandma died 14 years ago. Okay, 14 years ago. I hadn't seen or thought of this clock since then. She also gave me a special key that is required to wind up the clock in order for it to work. Otherwise, it just won't work. I finish my visit. I load up the clock. I load up the key and I head back home. Like I said, I'm halfway through the bookshelf build. And so I bring the clock in, put it into my bedroom, and there it sat for about 3 weeks to a month while I finished the bookshelf. I specifically made a spot just for this clock. It was perfect timing. I'm like, this is great. I'll take this clock home. I'll build a shelf specifically for this old family clock and I'll put it right up there. So I finish the build. I go get the clock and I put it up where it is currently sitting. A couple days later, my wife and my baby, they go on a trip to California. I stay home and they're just gone for the weekend. And so I'm trying to finish the bookshelf. After a hard day's work, I go and sit down on the couch and I turn on Netflix and I'm watching the show for about 30 minutes before I crash. And I'm sitting there watching this show and I hear a chime. Doom, doom, doom. Sounds really old. Like if you've ever heard an old grandfather clock, that's what it sounds like. And I was thinking like, man, that sounds like it's coming from the office. But it was only a split second. I didn't necessarily consciously think that. I did slightly, but it was in and out, right? In and out of my mind. It was like, oh, it had to be on the show. So a few minutes go by, I finish the show, I get tired, and I shut it off and I head to bed. And as I'm heading to bed, I open up the office door just to take a look at the bookshelf and admire it. And what do I hear and see? The clock is ticking. I was like, the hair stands up on my neck. I'm like, what? And mind you, there's 2 spots that you have to get the special key and turn it. I immediately texted Shelby and I said, hey, did you wind the clock? And she's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean wind it? I'm like, you know, the key that you have to use to wind it. She didn't even know you had to wind it. I'm like, oh, the key's gotta be in here. Search the house. And then I realized I had never even brought the key in from the pickup from the time I got home a month ago. I go out there and I found it between the console and the seat. The key had never even been in the house. I go to bed and I'm sitting there thinking, and I hear it chime. Doom, doom. I'm like, what the heck? I wake up the next morning, it's still going. I have a job where I'm remodeling the kitchen in the town over. So I leave for the day. I go work there. I come back. The clock had stopped. Nothing. It's not ticking anymore. That's it. And it stopped on 2:19. The clock is still set at 2:19. I don't want to wind it. I want to see if it happens again. I got to thinking like maybe there had been like pressure built up just from traveling 2 days with that clock in the pickup, and maybe moving it kind of jarred it loose. But then I got to thinking, I'm like, well, let me text my aunt. Let me see when the last time she wound it, because maybe they wound it right before I left or something. The thing wasn't ticking whenever I put it in my pickup. But maybe they had wound it up. So I text her. I'm like, hey, when's the last time you guys wound that thing up? And she responds, she's like, we've never wound it up. It hasn't been wound up for 14 years. And the key hasn't even been in the house. I brought the key in since. It's sitting on the kitchen table, but I haven't put it in here. I'll leave you guys with this. We had one of my toddler's toys in here. It's a little train. I'll put the video up so you guys can see, and I actually recorded it. This was the day after I noticed it ticking, and then it stops at 2:19, and then the toy started going off. And it requires you to manually push a button. It's kind of old school toy. You have to manually push a button for it to go off. It started going off multiple times. Took it out of the office, hasn't done it since. It's been about 2 months. Can somebody please explain this to me? Maybe it's not quite bizarre to you. It is pretty bizarre to me. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, share this with people, and I'll see you on the next video.